The Architects of Silence, Part 1, The Call to the Void. There is a space between who you are right now and the force you are meant to become. It is a space of relentless solitude and brutal self-assessment. Most people fear this void. They fill it with noise, with cheap distractions, with the constant clamor of validation from others. They mistake attention for respect and fleeting approval for genuine worth. This is the first deception you must dismantle. You are not building a monument for public admiration. You are constructing a fortress for your soul, a foundation that cannot be shaken by shifting opinions or temporary failures. The journey to genuine power does not begin in the spotlight, it begins in the shadows, where the real work happens unseen and uncredited. If you are seeking applause, you are selling your potential for pennies. True power is expensive, and its currency is sacrifice, consistency, and deep, uncompromising silence. The world does not owe you its attention, and it certainly does not owe you its respect. Respect is not a gift, it is an exchange rate. It is the natural response to undeniable substance. Stop performing for the galleries. Stop narrating your life to strangers who will forget your name by morning. Close the curtains and begin the solitary excavation of your own character. Look closely at the man you see in the mirror. Does he keep his promises to himself? Does he flinch when faced with discomfort? Does he prioritize immediate ease over long-term strength? Be honest and be ruthless. This man, this former self, is the first thing you must defeat. He is comfortable, he is weak, he is predictable. You cannot command respect from others until you have commanded absolute discipline from him. This is the central paradox of transformation. To become highly visible, you must first become invisible. You must disappear into the work. You must embrace the grind that nobody witnesses, the early mornings that bite with cold, the late nights when fatigue screams at you to quit. The pain of discipline is a secret language spoken only between you and your future self. Every time you choose the hard path, the silent struggle, the delayed reward, you are depositing credit into the bank of your destiny. The man who chases respect is a beggar. The man who commands respect is an architect. He knows that his actions are his only true words. His reputation is not built on what he says, but on what he refuses to compromise. His strength is not in his loudness, but in his lethal stillness. His confidence is not arrogance, it is simply the natural byproduct of unwavering preparation. The starting line is always the same. Refuse to be mediocre. Refuse to accept the average life, the average effort, the average mindset. The average path is crowded and safe, and it leads only to regret. Step off that road. Step into the discomfort of the unknown, where growth is mandatory and weakness is an unaffordable luxury. This transformation requires you to shed your old skin. It means accepting that your past struggles, your traumas, your defeats are not chains to hold you down, but fuel to power your ascent. Turn your pain into purpose. Turn your mistakes into wisdom. Do not hide your scars, display them as evidence of battles survived and lessons learned. The world respects the survivor, not the victim. Acknowledge the weight of responsibility. The moment you stop blaming external forces for your condition is the moment you reclaim your power. Your life, your results, your future are your domain. This ownership is terrifying, but it is also the source of unimaginable strength. You are the sole designer of your fate. You are the primary investor in your future self. Treat this project with the seriousness it deserves. Embrace the period of silence. Let your output speak for your process. Let your results shatter the doubts that your words could never silence. The most dangerous man is not the one who shouts the loudest, but the one whose capabilities are revealed only through action. Be that man. Begin today in the quiet discipline that precedes all greatness. This is the call to the void. Step away from the noise. Dive deep into the unglamorous work. Forge your character in the furnace of solitary effort. Understand that the respect you crave from the world is simply a reflection of the respect you have already earned from yourself. The journey has begun. The Architects of Silence, Part 2, The Forge of Discipline. Discipline is not a restriction, it is the pathway to true freedom. It is the bridge between the lazy man you were and the necessary man you are becoming. Most people view discipline as an enemy, a cruel master demanding sacrifice. They are wrong. Discipline is the only honest friend you will ever have because it never lies about your capacity or your potential. It simply demands you meet the standard you yourself have set. The forge is where character is tempered and tested. It is the ritual of the unbreakable routine. It is the commitment to the unsexy daily habits that accumulate into an unshakable destiny. Do not seek the spectacular moment, seek the relentless consistency. The grand leaps of success are simply the visible result of thousands of invisible disciplined steps taken when no one was watching and when you felt least motivated. Your word is your internal currency. If you cannot keep a promise to yourself, you are bankrupt. Every time you set an alarm and hit snooze every time you plan a workout and skip it every time you vow to learn something new and scroll mindlessly instead, you are eroding your self-trust. You are training yourself that your own voice is unreliable. How can you expect the world to trust a man who does not even trust the man in the mirror? Start small, but be absolute. Define the non-negotiables of your day. These are the sacred acts of self-ownership that must be completed regardless of your mood or circumstance. It could be the 5 a.m. wake up, the 1 hour of deep focused work, the commitment to a difficult physical task. These small victories are not about the task itself. They are about proving to your subconscious that when you say something, you mean it. They are repetitions in the gym of integrity. The true test of discipline is not when things are easy, it is when the motivation has vanished and only the commitment remains. The difference between the pretender and the powerhouse is what they do on the days they want do nothing. When the fatigue is heavy, when the doubt is loud, when the temptation for ease is overwhelming, that is the moment you must show up. This refusal to fold under pressure is the quality that separates the merely ambitious from the truly formidable. Endurance is the bedrock of respect. People respect the man who survives the storm and keeps standing, not the man who avoids the rain. You were built to endure. The pain you are avoiding is the power you are forfeiting. Lean into the discomfort. Let the hardship sharpen your focus and define your edges. Every heavy lift, every difficult conversation, every setback overcome is a chisel shaping you into an unyielding force. Understand the power of delayed gratification. The modern world is engineered for instant fixes, for immediate dopamine hits. This is the path of the perpetually distracted and the eternally dependent. Reject the cheap thrills. Become fluent in the language of patience. True success requires planting seeds today that will bear fruit years from now. It requires working for a reward that is not yet visible. This capacity for long-term vision and patient execution is a mark of mental maturity and true strategic depth. The man of discipline lives by a code, not by his fluctuating feelings. Emotions are valuable messengers, but they are terrible masters. Do not let your momentary mood dictate your permanent actions. When you feel tired, you work. When you feel bored, you focus. When you feel resistance, you push through. You honor the commitment, not the convenience. This cold, clear rationality, this mastery over the internal chaos, is what commands authority. Your body is your first kingdom. You must rule it with absolute sovereignty. How you treat your physical self is a direct reflection of how you value your life and your future. The unkempt body reflects the undisciplined mind. The optimized body is a testament to rigor, consistency, and self-respect. Train not for vanity, but for resilience. Eat not for pleasure, but for fuel. Sleep not for escape, but for renewal. Your physical vessel must be strong enough to carry the immense ambition of your mind. Let your work ethic be the loudest thing about you. Let your consistency be the factor that makes you undeniable. When people speak of you, let them speak of your relentless reliability, your capacity to always finish what you start. This is the quiet authority of competence. It doesn't need to be advertised, it announces itself through results. Build a reputation not on fleeting talent, but on enduring hard work. Embrace the discipline of thought. Just as you train your body, you must train your mind to reject negativity, self-doubt, and the toxic narratives of victimhood. Your mind is a garden, and you are the gatekeeper. Weed out the fears, water the ambitions. Discipline yourself to focus only on solutions, not on problems. The mind of a disciplined man is a lethal weapon, a laser focused on the objective. This is the forge. The heat is intense, the hammering is constant, and the process is grueling. But at the end of this trial, you will emerge not as the soft metal that went in, but as the tempered steel that cannot be broken. Keep hammering. Keep showing up. Let your discipline be the promise you keep to yourself every single day. The Architects of Silence, Part 3, The Architecture of Mind. The most contested battlefield in the universe is the space between your ears. True power is not about dominating others, but achieving absolute sovereignty over your own mental and emotional landscape. This is the architecture of mind, the disciplined construction of a psychological fortress where fear and impulse have no jurisdiction. The world is constantly trying to manipulate your emotions because an emotional man is a predictable man, and a predictable man is easily controlled. The lethal calm is your ultimate weapon. Learn to observe your emotions as a scientist observes a chemical reaction, with detached curiosity, not immediate participation. Recognize the rising tide of anger, frustration, or panic, but refuse to let it seize the steering wheel. Your ability to maintain composure under pressure is the purest manifestation of self-mastery. When everyone else is reacting, you must be assessing. When the noise reaches its peak, you must be still. Composure is not the absence of feeling, it is the decision to delay the response until a strategic action can be taken. The impulsive reaction is always the weakest. The measured, calculated response is always the strongest. Train yourself to create a necessary gap between stimulus and reaction. In that fraction of a second lies all your freedom and all your power. That space is where the disciplined mind executes strategy over instinct. Your mindset is the operating system of your life. If a system is riddled with bugs of self-pity, fear of failure, and negative self-talk, the output will always be substandard. You must debug the system daily. Consciously and aggressively replace limiting beliefs with empowering truths. You are not defined by what happened to you, you are defined by how you choose to respond to it. Adopt a mindset of radical ownership and relentless optimism. The disciplined man understands that stress and adversity are not obstacles to success, but prerequisites for it. Pressure does not create weaknesses, it merely reveals them. Therefore, seek out pressure, embrace challenges, and willingly step into scenarios that force you to adapt and evolve. The man who hides from difficulty remains soft and untested. The man who engages the fight emerges hardened and exponentially stronger. Focus is the economic powerhouse of the mind. In a world saturated with distractions, the ability to concentrate deeply on a single demanding task is a superpower. Train your attention like a muscle. Reject multitasking as the illusion of productivity that it is. Dedicate uninterrupted blocks of time to the most important, most difficult tasks. This sustained deep work is where exponential growth and true mastery occur. It is the quality of your focus, not the quantity of your hours, that determines your output. Master the art of inner dialogue. The conversation you have with yourself is the most important one you will ever have. Ensure it is a conversation of encouragement, accountability, and high expectations. Be your own most demanding coach and your own most reliable ally. Eliminate the voice of the inner critic, which is often just the echo of old fears or external voices you mistakenly internalized. Replace critique with constructive action. Strategy must supersede emotion in every crucial decision. Think 3 moves ahead. Anticipate consequences. Do not move based on immediate gratification or fear of loss. Base your actions on clear objectives, long-term trajectory, and cold, hard reality. This requires the courage to face unpleasant truths and the discipline to commit to the plan even when the immediate path is painful or unpopular. Learn the immense power of stillness and solitude. Disconnect from the digital tether and the external demands regularly. In silence, you can hear the signal above the noise. Solitude is where your genuine thoughts, your deepest values, and your most powerful ideas are born. It is the time you dedicate to self-reflection, planning, and recharging the mental battery. Without this period of internal architecture, you are merely reacting to the world, not shaping it. The architecture of mind is never complete. It is a lifelong process of refining and reinforcing. Every decision you make, every thought you entertain, every emotion you master adds a stone to your fortress. Build it high, build it strong, and build it with the unyielding conviction that you are the sole master of your internal domain. This is the ultimate freedom and the ultimate source of power. When your mind is structured and controlled, your presence will become undeniable. The architects of silence part for the unshakable presence. The man who has mastered himself no longer needs to announce his arrival. His presence precedes him. This is not about charisma or loud declarations. It is an energetic signature, a subtle yet profound shift in the atmosphere when you enter a room. It is the palpable result of years spent in the forge of discipline and the architecture of mind. Your internal reality projects an external force. This unshakable presence is built on the refusal to seek validation. The need for external approval is a profound weakness, a dependency that makes you vulnerable to the manipulation of others. When you are centered in your own worth, your own standards, and your own mission, the opinions of the crowd become irrelevant background noise. You know your value because you built it. You do not need a committee to confirm it. Stand tall and move with intention. Every step, every gesture, every interaction should communicate purpose. Do not fidget, do not apologize for your existence, do not shrink your physical space. Posture is not merely physical, it is psychological. A straight back and a steady gaze signal a mind that is clear and a character that is grounded. Learn to occupy space with the quiet confidence of a man who belongs exactly where he is. Speak with conviction or remain silent. The man of substance does not waste words. When he speaks, his words carry weight because they are rare, they are considered, and they are backed by the undeniable evidence of his actions. Avoid the impulse to fill silence with meaningless chatter or to over-explain your position. Let your delivery be clear, concise, and absolute. The man who is comfortable in silence demonstrates that he is not desperate to be heard, only committed to being understood when necessary. True authority is silent. It does not beg for obedience, it commands attention through gravity. Look at the people who genuinely influence the world. They are often the calmest, most deliberate individuals in the room. They listen more than they speak. They process information without rushing to judgment. They operate from a position of strategic calm, while everyone else is running on adrenaline. Emulate this lethal stillness. The standard you set is the respect you receive. You must be the uncompromising steward of your own boundaries. Teach people how to treat you by how you allow them to interact with you. A man of presence does not tolerate disrespect, not out of arrogance, but out of fidelity to his self-worth. If you consistently allow people to cross your lines, to waste your time, or to diminish your efforts, you are signaling that your time and yourself are cheap commodities. Raise the price. Cultivate a life of genuine substance. Presence is not a trick, it is a byproduct. The more competence you accumulate, the more problems you solve, the more value you create, the more magnetic your presence becomes. Success attracts success. Energy follows truth. The man who is deeply invested in his mission and actively improving his condition radiates a power that cannot be faked or ignored. Handle conflict not with aggression, but with assertive clarity. When challenged, do not resort to shouting or emotional outbursts. Address the reality of the situation with cold logic and unwavering resolve. Your goal is not to win an argument, but to uphold the standard. Maintain your composure and let your disciplined mind execute the response. The man who can keep his head while others lose theirs is the man who takes control of the outcome. Be the anchor in the storm. People are drawn to stability in chaotic times. They gravitate towards the individual who demonstrates unshakable reliability and clear judgment. Become the person others look to when uncertainty reigns. This position of trust and reliance is the highest form of respect, and it is earned solely through your consistent demonstration of character and competence under fire. Your presence is a non-verbal affirmation of your life philosophy. It is the visible manifestation of your internal contract with yourself. When you walk into a room, let your energy communicate a single undeniable truth. I am here on purpose. I am focused. I am prepared. And I am not for sale. Let this silent authority be your loudest statement. The Architects of Silence, Part 5, The Command of Self. We arrive now at the inevitable conclusion, the central truth that underpins all power and all respect. The only command that matters is the command of self. All external success, all recognition, all influence is merely the echo of this internal mastery. If you have not conquered your own mind, your own habits, and your own comfort, you are a slave disguised as a master. This command is maintained through relentless personal accountability. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for rescue. The universe does not reward passivity, it rewards action. Take radical ownership of every result in your life. The victories are yours, and crucially, the failures are yours too. Only by owning the setback can you extract the necessary lesson and forge the necessary correction. Blame is the tool of the weak, ownership is the tool of the architect. Respect is the mirror of your integrity. Integrity is not merely telling the truth to others, it is living the truth to yourself. It means your internal values and your external actions are in perfect alignment. There is no hidden life, no secret compromises, no gap between what you preach and what you practice. This seamless coherence generates a profound inner peace and an undeniable outward trust. People may not be able to articulate why, but they feel the authenticity of a unified character. The journey of discipline is the only true legacy. Wealth can be lost, fame can fade, external power structures can collapse. But the character you forge, the endurance you demonstrate, and the self-mastery you cultivate is an asset that cannot be taken from you. It is the armor that allows you to survive and thrive regardless of external circumstances. Your legacy is the man you built in the silence, not the titles you accumulated in the noise. Never mistake comfort for safety. Comfort is often the most dangerous state because it breeds complacency and softness. The greatest growth occurs at the edge of your capacity in the territory of discomfort and resistance. Therefore, you must continuously seek to challenge your own limits. Set higher standards, embrace larger goals, and willingly step into the next phase of difficulty. Stagnation is a slow death. Perpetual ascent is the only path for the powerful. Understand that your time is your ultimate non-renewable resource. Guard it fiercely. Say no to anything that does not align with your core mission and your highest values. Do not allow the trivial demands of others or the frivolous distractions of the digital world to steal the hours you need for deep work, self-improvement, and genuine connection. Respect your time, and the world will respect it in kind. Your focus defines your reality. The final act of self-command is forgiveness for past errors coupled with unyielding forward momentum. You will fail. You will stumble. You will make mistakes. This is not a reason to quit. It is a mandatory part of the learning process. Do not dwell in regret or self-recrimination. Extract the wisdom from the error, dust yourself off, and immediately return to the work with heightened knowledge. The disciplined man does not avoid failure. He leverages it. This is the ultimate prize of the solitary effort, the long nights, the quiet struggles, and the relentless consistency. You become a man who is not defined by what he has, but by who he is. A man who does not seek respect because he inherently commands it. A force built on a foundation of unshakable character, absolute self-control, and purpose-driven action. You are the architect of your existence. Your work is never finished. Your standards are always rising, and your internal command must always be absolute. Stand in your truth, move with your purpose, and let your life be the silent, undeniable testament to the power of the disciplined soul. The world is waiting not for your explanation, but for your manifestation. Go and show them what you have built.